This show is brought to you by Vyas Media Network.
Vyasa, the story that you were sharing, please share it with everybody.
We did a campaign called Men Buy Pads because we definitely wanted men to be included in the conversation of menstrual hygiene. So there was a father who was shopping for his daughter who was about to get into puberty, and he was buying all kind of gifts. But she came out from the alley and showed him the pads. And then he realized that, hey, you know what? I have to take care of my daughter in absence of my wife because she's not there. Why can't I talk to her? It was such an emotional video which we made, and there was a song in the background that we never know when our daughter or a child becomes a woman or reach a puberty age. It was such an amazing emotional video. It had around 16 million organic views. And I got a call from so many fathers. But thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Someday I'll be a father of beautiful daughters, hopefully.
Yes.
I'll definitely share this story. Dr. Sapna, you were sharing?
Yeah, a couple of my friends, just single parent, they're doing that. When they have problem, how to go on with, so you just give us a call, any of us in our circle, then he's raising her child.
Very nice.
Yeah. He's buying this all stuffs, making him do counseling, talking, everything. Any period problems, especially pain problem, then he calls me what to give. And then it goes.
I think in Indian subcontinent we should have the sort of what West does, or there are few community in back home. They celebrate the puberty, the first puberty of the daughter. The father will bring a cake. The family will get together. They'll cut a cake and they say, "Hey, you know what? My daughter has started puberty." So that's a sign of a healthy woman.
Yeah.
I think that we should promote more and more.
No, we have Gufa system, in Nevar. Yeah.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Gufa must say when we have first period, sometimes the parents see goes to the Jyotisi, get the time and keep it for 12 days. No, when there's the first period in Nepal, Newari community, then we'll keep that girl for 12 days. After 12 days, she get married to the son.
Oh.
So and she's kept in the darkest room without seeing the light. But
oh God.
earlier days, all the friends we used to come, play. They have all stuffs of things, no? And after 12 days, and she'll be taken out to the son and marry a son.
Wow.
So this is after period?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
actually
it was
after
before.
period.
Do you advocate this?
Actually, now it's been cut down, no? Not only 12 days, only the rituals been done. But sometimes when you look back, these are rituals we have to carry out, no? But the days are becoming shorter.
Oh.
They have got times, no? Sometimes they keep for 3 days if they do not have time, no? But they do. So in Newari marriage, in marriage there's a short time, no? They have married with the son. Before that, they'll marry with bail. That's a fruit. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know about marrying a tulsi plant in India.
Yeah. So actually when they marry a man, then it's only the short period matan. So because both the marriage has already been done.
Chaupadi still persists?
Yes. Still.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
But it has been banned by the Supreme Court.
Now
of
there's a
Nepal.
law. If anybody happens to do that, they are just given law punishes, but still happening.
informally inside the houses.
Yeah.
The concepts.
Dr. Sapna, at Prasuti where you're at, I can call it Prasuti,
yes.
right? Where you're at, what kind of stories do you come across every single day, which also opens up your eyes and be like, this is still happening in Nepal?
Regarding menstruation?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of other things, but they don't open up. The adolescents don't open up, no. Actually, they come for safe abortion service at the adolescent period because they don't know when to start, where to go, when they have a pregnancy, how the pregnancy happens, they don't know. So they have first period, and sometimes they have sexual assault, sometimes from the family members, sometimes they are living in with a boyfriend, no, and they come up. And when you say, don't you know how the pregnancy happens, they don't know. So that is the amazing thing, no? In the 14 years in a school dress, and 14 years, 15 years, the mother brings. One interesting story is one 17 years old girl, she was brought in the winter, and she has a big coat, and she came with the mother, and mother was telling, my daughter is not having a period, can you check it?
She was pregnant.
Yeah, and then I said, when is a period? She doesn't know, and she was quite stubborn, no. And I said, okay, then keep it. I'll just check it out. She was 8 months pregnant. Then the mother says, how it comes, how it happened. She doesn't know. She said, I don't know. She was very stubborn. I said, are you born in the area of Ramayana and that the Duryodhana that everything is Surya gives you light and you have to know it how it happens, no. This just gave me a kind of insight, no. Then I started my Bhanji, my son, when they were teens, and said, if you have sex, you can make pregnant or you can become pregnant.
Education is needed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we lack that because menstruation, when they get pregnant, they don't know.
Yeah. So a very quick question, like since I've been working on menstrual, so I have seen and I interview a lot of Gen Zs who just get puberty. They are always afraid of going to a gynecologist because they see doctor as that they are something bad is happening to them. So when I interviewed at least 50 Gen Zs, they said, instead of a gynecologist, can we have something like a counselor on how to manage your menstrual hygiene? So I was working on one project called Advanced Menstrual Hygiene Management, where it's being promoted by a gynecologist, but they are not a medical practitioner. They are not judging you, because many a time in many places in the world, they start judging you. You know, why you are having sex, why you are having unprotected sex. So I think that is what is needed in the world, where it's more of a friend who's talking to you and giving you the right advice. So I think people will go there a lot often rather than to a gynecologist. I think that's my belief.
No, actually, yes. Because we have adolescent health system also, adolescent health training also. Right now, long before, it was like a stigma, no? Going to a doctor and getting a pill. I've been checked, and she will ask me this and this.
That's
do
what
this.
people want to avoid.
Yeah, but due to this adolescent health training, lot of nurses, lot of doctors have been trained how to handle this. So lot of counsels are coming up, lot of podcasts, lot of this Facebook thing, lot of media. They are just aware. In the school also, they have adolescent. They are talking about menstrual health. When I was in school, I was never taught. I was never, because if we have see the vagina in the paper, we used to just do it. Because I had studied in a girls' school. In fact, I used to look like this. No, now they talk openly.
No, absolutely. That's thanks to the Gen Zs.
Do you remember that time in school?
I had a similar experience. I was in a hostel and we had this desk that opened up like this, you know, where we had to put our books inside. And then the boys were so naughty, they would put like, I don't know, some naked pictures or whatever into our desks. And I remember once opening this desk and I see this naked body. I think it was probably my first time seeing like a, you know, like the whole thing. And I couldn't even touch it. I actually took tissue paper and picked it up with a piece of paper. I picked it up with a tissue paper and I threw it in the dustbin. It was the same for me. I think I was in grade 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Wow.
I still remember grade 6. I'll never forget this. I think I've mentioned it before in one of my shows. I still remember, I'll not take the teacher's name. It was health and population class. And there were various terms, various words which were sex, right? And then I still remember the teacher skipping that word.
Yes.
Skipping it completely.
Completely skipped it. Completely skipped the whole word, the whole paragraph, you know, the whole sentence as well. And we were like, okay, well, we'll read it by ourselves, you know.
But I think that's changing.
That's changing.
They've changed a lot.
Changed now, I'm sure.
Very much.
Changed a lot.
Very much.
Yeah.
No, I think it's give credit to again, I'm using the word Gen Z again and again, is because they are so vocal, and thanks to the social media, the Instagram and all, people are adopting it, and they don't have any
Yeah.
shame. So I'll give you an example. In my office, when a girl is chumming, she'll very proudly will wear a red dot on her chest and say that, hey, I'm chumming. So back old days used to hide, if I'm chumming, I think, yeah.
Jaisa, I want you to share the story of your favorite P-Safe product, if that's okay with you.
From menstruation straight to jet spray. Of course, I actually, in fact, just because we're talking about P-Safe, I actually started my menstrual cup journey with P-Safe. I knew about it, I heard about it, it was like sustainable, all of that was great. And especially for me, I always have like an allergic reaction to like pads, the plasticky pads. So I wanted to change. So I started using the cup with P-Safe. That's when I was introduced to the brand, so menstrual related. And then now it's translated onto my daughter because P-Safe has this jet spray, the spray.
The portable jet spray.
One of the first products.
No. It's a very new. It's very recent.
Yeah. So every time she travels, she needs a spray. So if we're going to any country that doesn't have a spray, my daughter refuses to poop because she needs a spray. So Nepali of her, right? So we carry
we need the water.
The portable bidet.
The portable bidet, the portable jet spray bidet. Yes,
that's perfect. When was the first time you heard about P-Safe products?
Yeah, when I was doing one menstrual hygiene thing, then the menstrual cup came, and I have to talk about menstrual cup, and that was the time I come to, and many of the teenagers are using that, and they feel very comfortable.
Yep.
We sell somewhere close to around 60,000 cups a month now.
Yeah.
60,000. And I'll tell you why. It make the menstruator life super easy. You can pee, poop, and swim while wearing a menstrual cup. You can wear it for up to 12 hours. And I can tell you, during COVID, the menstrual cup really skyrocketed with the health givers.
Yes.
Because they were only given one PPE kit. And if they were on their periods, the nurses and the doctors, they had to wear that pad, which was supposed to for 4 hours or 5 hours for good 8 to 10 hours for the shift. And they shifted to menstrual cup because they can wear it for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And they don't need to change their PP kit. Or if they have to change their pad, they don't need to change their PP kit because it was short supply. But it's a great, for sports people, great.
Yes, it's boomed in COVID time, I think, in Nepal.
Especially in the health givers.
Yes, and the health givers also, and the adolescents, teenagers also during COVID time, because I had a talk during that time, and after that I've seen a lot of people coming there using this because, like you, so many people are having rashes and everything with the pads, changing pads, going to the toilet. This is really difficult. And during post-earthquake, when we went to Dolpa, I think. Nearby, Sindhu Palchok somewhere, all the pads were thrown outside. All the pads.
They take around 300 years.
Yeah, so it's environmental, that was I was saying. We need biodegradable products, because all those thrown outside, used and thrown. Yeah, because they were given during this post-earthquake time, and they used and they throw. They don't know where to throw, where to dig. All were in the roads, It was really making environmental
especially these used sanitary napkins when they go in the red fill, especially the cattle and the strays also they also they get harmed about it. So
they definitely do, right? Because I want to track back a little bit. I've heard it on Raj Shamani's podcast as well. Just a brief on how did you start it and where do we stand today and the journey forward?
So, I come from a very different background, but to talk about it on a road trip with my wife, she got infected with UTI, and that's when she was recovering it. We got an idea of a toilet seat sanitizer spray. Simple idea. I got into the product. So spray it on a toilet seat, evaporates in 10 seconds, and kills the E. coli bacteria, which is one of the reasons for UTI. And that is how the idea of P-Safe came in, first in the world. But you can't make a brand or you can't make an FMCG company out of one product. So in 2017, I thought of why can't we create a company by innovating products for women from puberty to menopause. It means that you'll be having a women's health for 40 years. So that is how now we have toilet hygiene, sustainable menstrual care, intimate hygiene, sexual wellness, and body grooming, which women need. So we are now, a 7-year-old company, as I can say that. We are present in 22 countries. In India, we retail in around 50,000 stores. Super happy for Nepal. Nepal is our second highest market after Saudi Arabia. So third, you can say that. I think Nepal has welcomed us with open arms, and I think people have adopting products. And we really want to grow. So not about product. It's about how we can change the behavior, how we can add adaptation, about sustainable period care, and how we can contribute towards women's health. Because menstruation, and I'm sure doctor will understand that reproductive infection comes from poor menstrual hygiene.
Yes, of course,
and I think that's stigma in society as well if you're not bearing a child.
Yes.
So that's what we are.
That's very well put, and thank you for what you're doing. I want to track back on that conversation that I was sharing about when I was born, right? Where I could not, as I was growing up, do not touch the tallow that's hanging with the other clothes. Don't touch it. You're not meant to touch it.
Yeah.
That's where I come from. Do we still have a tallow being used in Nepal?
Yes, because a lot of rural people who does not have access to sanitary pads, to buy sanitary. It's not free. Only for the children they are free. For the adults, they're still using pads, and they're still using. They just wash because they wash. They wanted to hide. They just keep it. They don't keep it in the sun. The hygiene comes there. They keep it inside in a dark room where nobody sees, nobody touches, so that they use it. So my thing is that whenever they come, if I ask, how do you use, what are you using? If you're using cloth, then I say, don't shame yourself. Just keep it in the sun, dry it, wash it like your own outer clothes. No,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is the reason we came out with reusable sanitary pads, which are antibacterial. And you do need sun, but if you are not putting on the sun, so that the antibacterial property can last for 60 washes, which can help. And I must tell you, Nepal has taken our the reusable pads very, very strongly. A lot of NGOs are distributing this in the rural areas of Nepal.
Yeah, some of the women in rural area, I forgot the place, they were not using even pads. They came for a health checkup as a gynecologist they were just bleeding, and it's under that petticoat, And I just said, don't you use any pads? No, they have the jumper.
Yes.
And it's all this. They are not
Education.
knowing how to use the pads.
How is it in the urban setting, Rensa, if you don't mind me asking this? How is it in the urban setting when you were growing up? Because I believe both of us were born in Kathmandu, raised in Kathmandu.
Personally, for me, I don't know very much about when I was growing up. I do remember this one incident. I was a swimmer, so I would swim. I don't remember using tampons or whatever. So when I had my periods, I would have to miss a couple of days of practice or whatever, and maybe like third day, fourth day, and I really want to go. And, but I know I might have a little bit of leakage. I'll still just go sometimes, So my other teammates were also like me. So I remember once, I don't know this incident like per se, but then recently one of my friends came up to me with this story.
Let's get ma'am now. What was it? हामी ठ्याक्क कुराकानी गर्दै थियौँ हामी ठ्याक्क अर्बन सेटिङमा चाहिँ हैन मेन्स्ट्रुअल हेल्थ कुराकानी गर्दै थियौँ अर्बन सेटिङमा चाहिँ हुर्किदाखेरि चाहिँ कस्तो भनेर चाहिँ हामी कुराकानी
So recently खासमा मेरो एकजना साथीले चाहिँ आएर मलाई के भन्यो भने there's this other girl, junior girl, who came up to her and said, you're Zenisha's friend, right? Can you tell her this one story? So apparently what had happened was she went swimming on third day, fourth day, and she was in the water when she started to bleed. And there were a lot of people around her who started making fun of her. And apparently I went there and I told, guys, stop making fun. This is like the most natural thing to happen, da-da-da-da-da. And then she had asked this friend of mine to say thank you. So then now that I think about it, growing up, maybe we had that. But now the kids these days obviously have access to, tampons or menstrual cups. So for athletes, it's definitely much, much better. Having said that, even till date, within homes, within societies, there is still that, natsune, I'm on my period, don't do this, don't do that. It's very, very normalized. And even people who speak up, openly about menstruation should not be a taboo, they're still following those practices at home. So I would think it's still very much prevalent.
मैले एउटा कथा के सेयर गरेको थिएँ भने म सानो हुँदाखेरि म जन्मेर अलिकति हुर्किरहेको बेलामा चाहिँ हामी त बच्चा थियौँ when we were young we used to play outside सबै थोक छुन मिल्यो you can touch any of the cloths but do not touch this cloth is the talo भनेर चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यो भनेको याद थियो कि सो त्यहाँदेखि आजसम्म चाहिँ हामी कहाँसम्म आइपुगेका छौँ भनेर चाहिँ भारत र नेपालको कुराकानी चल्दै थियो कि हाम्रो चाहिँ यो समयमा चाहिँ
I think we are where we are still. And where we started, we are still there. I don't think so. If you all are talking about only the cities, then it is different, right?
Yeah.
But if you go beyond that,
हजुर
Sudur Paschim, if you want to go to the far west, पनि not far west भन्दाखेरि not only Dipal, all these places, एकदमै far, होइन? Where there is just now snow, तर पनि there is a taboo for this menstruation, होइन? अहिले पुरै उसमा छ. So I don't think so you should look at one thing, होइन? That this is, and you are very correct that till today I'm saying that you are not allowed to touch. Even in my house, होइन? Even in my house, yeah? When my lady, my buari, whoever's had it, they are not allowed to do anything. 4 days rest, 5th day snan, and then. So, but you taboo the छँदैछ, it's there. But for me, I want to, sorry, I'm anuradha, but I want to finish also very quickly because I've got other works to do. I got this message last night only that I have to come here, Vanilla. I didn't know what to say, but then I really wanted to say, because I deal with children, especially girl, child, and woman, yeah? So in this country, I think there are other people also, but Mirochan especially, I'm specialized in that. And this, for me, everybody says trafficking is because of poverty. I said no. No, it is not of poverty, it's of gender disparity, first. Of gender disparity, what it comes is like when you ask a trafficker, because we've sentenced 2,500 traffickers to jail, whenever we talk to them, how did you go? Because they are the only, you are not an expert, none of us are expert. They are expert. How to go and lure, how to get the child, how to take her, how to sell her, what is the route, which prices you get, that is the only person. So he tells us, when we घरमा जाँदाखेरि घर सजिलै छ के भनेर फकाउनुहुन्छ तपाईको छोरी ठुलो भइसक्यो your daughter has become big they say it's very easy to lure the girls in the villages. Your daughter has become big, she needs money to get married, so I think it is good that she goes with me. This year she will stay, next year she will come back, and then she will bring some money, and that you will have easy life. So that is how they lure. Now, going back again, as I said, it's not the poverty, it's the gender disparity. Again, I don't know how many of you all have gone to the villages, school, the toilet is open like this, half, this much. And then there is no water on the top, yeah, for the sink, for the girls or boys or anybody to, flush the toilet. It is very, very dirty.
Napkin making project थियो नि हजुर त्यो एउटा बैंकसँग हामीले मिलेर गरेका थियौं नि.
No, it was a bank and a person not making sanitary pads, but giving us sanitary pad, and they also gave us this where to keep the sanitary pad, and they gave us a coin.
The vending
right?
machine. The vending machine.
The vending machine, but then one time, and then finish. Everybody is not like Gokan Das like me, yeah? Go on doing the work, go on doing. Everybody changes their profession one time, and one time they are something, the next time they are something. Wherever there is charm, wherever there is, के भन्छ त्यसलाई एकदम राम्रो चिज are there, they go there, they change their profession. I don't change my profession, and they did not give. Euta machine, they gave one machine, two machine. One is in a clinic, one is in my WRC, that's Women Rehabilitation Center. But 50 15 days, and after that, nothing.
Yeah.
So now we have to, we buy and we give. Yeah, no one is giving us for free. And this is one of Nepal's and Southeast Asia, even India and us and Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Maldives. This is the biggest rehabilitation centers we have in Nepal.
Wow.
For HIV AIDS also we have hospice. We have for us or for the girls, but no one is giving. We are buying. So here we are. I have come to talk with some producers who product of a product called, what is it? Be something.
Be safe, ma'am.
Be safe.
Be
Yeah?
safe, ma'am.
Yeah.
And Vyasa is the one who invented it, and it's his organization. And there's one thing I'll touch base, and then I'd love for you to ask her a question.
Sure.
We still have taxes.
Hmm?
We still have taxes that we VAT bhanum na haina, that we still go ahead and give when it comes to hygiene products. Maybe in the future we could make it all free, if possible.
I know. That is, someone has to come and talk to us. I know. Then we can go and waive. But we cannot waive for general public. I know. They will do what they like. But they have to, for the ones who are needy, which I'm talking about, the children in the schools, government schools. That's government schools I'm talking about. I know. And then these children who are survivors, and now it is like all the dance restaurant, cabin restaurant, all this, there are children there. They do not know how to change their pad, when to change. All their clothes are full of blood when they are rescued. So, isto thamma chaini, but I don't know. I can definitely lobby. That's for sure. So, how are they going to free? Ek haat se dena, ek haat se lena, right? So that's, I am very straight. So lobby garera bhayo bhane, free gardiyo bhane, I would be the most happiest person and most thankful person to the person who are going to make the pad. I can lobby for that.
So there's one addition here. So there's only one country in the world where the period care products are free, is Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah, because the population is very, very, very low.
Huh?
But generally, when we're talking about the taxes, how to make a period care product affordable, is government should reduce or remove the VAT. Say, for example, if I talk about Nepal, is 13% VAT is charged on a period care product. So many countries have actually removed those tax, including India. So it's making a little bit more affordable.
So how is it in India, sir? What's the tax bracket? If you
Zero.
don't mind me
There is no tax for sanitary napkins.
So we had 15%.
Nepal, India
13.
doesn't have?
No.
We had 15%.
13%.
Now we've reduced it to 13%.
13%.
From 15 we went down to 13.
And then in addition to that, there are a lot of state governments. They distribute free pads to women who are not into that penetration. Because in our country also we have penetration of only 45% out of 100. And when I started, ma'am, in 2017, we had only 17% penetration. So when governments start distributing free, and then when the company like us make it available, I think that's how the distribution grows. But I think reduction of tax is very much possible from government, just to make it more affordable.
Well, are we going to talk about tax or exemption, or are we going to talk more about pad and how to use it and how to make it comfortable to the girls and women of this country? If they're going to, what is it? Be
safe, ma'am. Be safe, ma'am. Be safe, ma'am.
And my staff are saying, you're going to be safe. It's so much in Nepal just now, but then, हामी गरिबहरूले चाहिँ किन्नु सक्दैन, एकदमै एक्सपेन्सिभ छ भनेर मलाई भन्दै थियो. They were telling, my senior program officer, she came and said, I'm going, do this भनेर I was saying, and she told me that. And she told me, where are you going? I said, this is where I'm going. Last night they called me, but then I have jotted down some points last night.
Definitely.
I know. So I'll speak on it भनेर भने.
So maybe in the future we could definitely work on the price point as well?
No, absolutely. When you say PSAFE is not actually be targeted to the rural areas or the rural consumption, it's more towards, because it's a new products, right? So we need to have the top of the pyramid, and then as soon as more people start using it, the prices goes down. So ma'am, we being a startup, and when you say P Safe, it's a very idiot-proof name. I must tell you that how the product came in is more of a toilet seat sanitizer
I
spray.
know.
But then we venture out into the menstrual hygiene. But absolutely, the prices has come down maybe a 10% from we have started. So it will gonna take a lot of more years and a lot of more people coming into the mainframe. I think then only the prices will go down.
I do not know, because when we were kids, we had Ferex, we had different, like Horlicks was there, but Horlicks in those days were cheaper, we feel, expensive and cheaper we feel. Now we feel is the same price. Yeah, Horlicks, talking about Horlicks. I buy a product ko kura gareko ni मैले हैन त्यो Horlicks पनि त्यही Ferex पनि हाम्रो बच्चा हामीलाई खुवाउँथ्यो. My mother and all used to give to our children and us also, I think. But then they say Ferex and now it's Cerelac. Yeah? So, Daju Bhai, these are brothers.
So just to give an example, when we started menstrual cup, in Indian currency it was 499 rupees, which can be used for 5 years.
499.
A menstrual cup, Indian rupee, right?
800 Nepali.
Yeah. A menstrual cup.
Lagbhag 500 rupiah, 800 Nepali.
For what?
A menstrual cup,
menstrual cup,
which is a replacement of a sanitary napkin, which can be used for 5 years and reusable. Now, after 3 years, so after 4 years, the price is now 350 rupees. So we have reduced, because at that point of time only 2,000 people were using it.
Yeah.
Now 60,000 people are using every month. So the way the consumption increased, the prices came down.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The taboos in society, ma'am, we were also talking about the taboos in society, and that's what Jainsa was picking up on earlier as well. And you touched base on it spot on. We're sitting here in an urban setting, in a studio, which is very urban, and we're talking about the problems and issues that we have within Nepal as well, right? Your thought process on how can we go ahead and digitally share with young friends and advocate about how important it is?
Okay, so for me personally, while growing up, I grew up in a Buddhist family, so we did not have the concept of, this Natsune concept. So I didn't know. Actually, for me, it was news. I found out about this when I was like 17, 18 years old, and my friends started saying, it's the periods, and I was like actually shocked that there was something like this that existed. So even within our communities, sometimes but now with the digital medium, of course, there is so much exposure, there's so much information that can be floated out there. And just in general, having talks like this, like showing support, solidarity, and using the medium for any kind of awareness might help. Because when people see somebody else maybe speaking against it or knowing what this is about, where it came from, what are the difficulties, then they might feel, some sort of maybe like just I found out at 17. So there might be a lot of kids who are going through that, who don't know, who don't have access to any other information. That is their reality. So just shedding light on what might be out there might give them a different perspective to make their own decision after.
Yeah. I was reading up on this. In developed countries, basically, menstrual hygiene is closely linked to education and empowerment, right? Literacy rate is Madhya province 59%, Gandaki 76%, Lumbini 80%, Koshi 78%, Sudur Paschim 73%, and Karnali 76%. So how could we collaborate with schools, like ma'am was mentioning earlier as well? How could we in future collaborate with schools as well as with hospitals?
Actually, every school has this adolescent-friendly topic. The menstrual hygiene they already talked in school. School so different schools are menstrual hygiene they already know. Teachers talk. They talk about special menstrual hygiene, the stigmas, taboos, because teenagers are right in Kathmandu. बाहिरको त त्यति exposure भएको छैन तर कहिले क्याम्पमा जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ young girls are not afraid of taking pads we are giving. They usually take and just roll out and go. Okay, लुकाएर लाने चाहिँ गरेन हामीले जाने 4-5 वटा ठाउँमा wherever we went, when we gave up the pads, they just roll out and they didn't hide it and they went it. I found it different because कतिवटा हजुरले भनेको ठाउँमा टोइलेट्सहरू बनेको छैन तर कतिवटा ठाउँमा चाहिँ अलरेडी बनेर देयर अ सेपरेट प्लेस सेपरेट त्यो उरहरू राख्ने डस्टबिनहरू विथ लक्ड दे हेभ एन्ड इभन द प्याड्स वर केप्ट इन द टोइलेट विच आई फिल सो गुड होइन अहिले चाहिँ यो मेन्स्ट्रुअल हाइजिनको बेलामा चाहिँ स्कुल्स बिन स्टार्टेड टकिङ आई थिङ्क मध्य प्रदेशमा पनि आज गाइने डक्टर नै गएर यु डोन्ट ह्याभ टु टक इभन द नर्सेस प्लेस्ड आउट देयर इभन द टिचर्स क्यान टक हाउ टु मेन्टेन द हाइजिन भने किन देयर इज अ टपिक इन हाइजिनको बारे त बोल्न सक्छ नि आई थिङ्क दे आर अलरेडी टर्निङ ओन्ली अलिक पुसअप चाहिँ चाहिन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई
I'll guarantee that.
We should, I think, actually push the menstrual cups. It's actually very economic. And the cup, like you mentioned, you can wear it for 10, 12 hours also. So even me, when I'm like going out for long periods of time, and like you said, I don't want to use public toilets, I use the cup. So it can be a very, very convenient option.
But then someone has to
educate.
teach them how to educate them how to do it. So that is it, I think. I do not see much, but then school children, first, from the, I want to start from very far, very far west, far east, So these are the places where you start.
So ma'am, you'll be happy to know that PSAFE Nepal, they went to Humla. And there they educated, so with collaboration with some NGOs, and they taught them how to use reusable pads. Even they taught them how to use menstrual cups, and they distributed few things. And I think so. These are the few efforts which, if we can't do it, we should tie up with NGOs who goes far off, and we can support them with education and material which they can actually part with. We want people like yourself.
So I do not know, but this is what I want you to
sure, we'll
do.
Take a note.
I will touch base on that PSAFE's products are from overall menstrual care. Ma'am, I'll touch base on this, that the cup to sanitary pads to tampons to, you could just imagine it and they have it. And Vyasa, in the future, if we could plan a collaborative effort, not just with Mighty Nepal, but for a long span of time, could we plan something like that?
No, absolutely. I think if we go and teach the menstruator about menstrual cups, which is for 5 years, it can use a product for 5 years. It can reusable. And of course, we want to work with NGOs. We want to work with people who go and talk about it. So we definitely want to build that trust and giving them a sustainable products which can be used for longer periods.
How is it I'll just touch base on this. Once PSAFE went out of India, right? Before that, how is it in India and the adaptability of the product, and when it comes to the education side as well and the awareness side as well? Maybe something that we could replicate here?
So we taken the digital route first. We started educating the urban poor, because that was easy for us. We can easily reach to them. So like the maids, the wife of the gardener, the delivery man, the security guards, because they are all coming from rural, but they are living in urban areas, but they were not following the menstrual hygiene management. So we started there. Then we tied up with a lot of schools who were giving some kind of going to the rural areas by educating, menstruators. We tied up with NGOs who were working on the menstruation, who were working on the trafficking girls, who were working on the sex workers. So we started working with them and parting our knowledges. Even we tied up with the likes of the Indian Defence, the Navy. So all these sailors, because they were women sailors as well, and they were dumping the sanitary pads into the ocean, or it was very difficult for them. So they started wearing a cups. The caregivers. So there were a lot of things through digital, through outbound, through NGOs. I think that is the way we can also do it in Nepal. I think we need more and more people who are talking about this subject. We should go and talk to them that menstruation is to be spoken loudly.
Global awareness, since we are still touching base on this, since you're in 22 countries all across the world, what are the things that you've learned that we could go ahead and you could share with us as well?
They are not ashamed of saying that they are on periods, especially the developed countries. That we as a subcontinent, we need to change. And I think I've seen that's changing, but it's very, very slow space. It's happening in the urban areas, but in rural, it's not. It's rural, it's not. We need to have a very fast changes in rural areas. But so we need to adopt that menstruation is not a disease, it's a natural phenomenon, and we should talk about it.
With local level, if you could go ahead and collaborate, that would fast track it, ma'am? And also with the Ministry of Health, if you could fast track with policy, if we need your help in the future.
Ministry of Health has the biggest role, I think. Yeah, if they want to do it, if there is a big if. Yeah, it's not this if, it's a big if.
New minister trying to make a lot of change.
Yes, I hope so. I hope Pradibha will make something, but I do not know. Like he has so many other big issues.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
for him, for me, who are here present today, this issue is more important than any other issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he, as a minister, maybe he has other issues to be dealt. I hope he listens to this.
I'll send it to him. I'll make sure that I send it to the Ministry of Health.
I think you're right.
We
You
will.
said, ma'am, government initiative.
Until and unless.
Because that changes everything.
Until and unless. You do not know how badly I have to fight with the Ministry of Women and Social Welfare, Ministry of Foreign Affairs to rescue the women who have gone, Ministry of Home to put someone to catch hold of this person, this person. It's difficult, yeah? But then they all know that this woman is very, very bad. She will make things go right.
No.
You're the best.
Things go right. So I do it, but as Babu asked, this is, I think, he knows about it. I think I can even talk to you that I had a meeting with all of you, but I do not know if this comes in his priority list.
We'll make sure that
Yes.
we add it, ma'am.
हो नि होइन अरू के छ भन्छ अनि कहाँ आउँछ
Dr. Saab, anything you want to add right to us end?
अहिले चाहिँ मेन्स्ट्रुअल हाइजिनको बारे चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ स्कुल हेल्थ प्रोग्राममा छ
मैले त एभ्रिथिङ स्कुलै भने
होइन स्कुल हेल्थ
Everything school.
प्रोग्राममा छ स्कुल हेल्थ प्रोग्राम अलरेडी इज देयर वान इज थिङ चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ रिअस्योरेन्स चाहिँ हामीले इभ्यालुएसन मोनिटरिङ गर्न चाहिँ अलिक ल्याकिङ हो मोनिटरिङ र मेन्टरिङ अनि जुनै पनि क्याम्पहरूमा आई अल्सो बिलोङ गो इन अ क्याम्प बट वी टक अबाउट मेन्स्ट्रुएसन वी टक अबाउट द प्याड्स होइन कसरी युज गर्ने भने वान टाइमै मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ के लाग्छ वेन यु गो फर क्याम्प इभन इफ यु टक फर हाफ एन आवर अबाउट मेन्स्ट्रुअल हाइजिन हाउ टु वाश हाउ टु युज वेन टु युज वेयर टु थ्रो होइन वाट काइन्ड अफ वाटर यु युज देन one time education also brings a lot of changes. Not only continuity, I also belong to Ekik Paila with a we go. Every week go, we take pads because all the homemade pads are sanitary napkins we take or educate and we take the flip chart, menstruation hygiene. Even the doctor, me or my nurse or my other colleague, she will talk about the school girls, about 16, 18 adolescent girls, how to use. Then we will just demonstrate it. So even if I cannot go every time, even if I talk for half an hour, even if I take for 10 minutes, those who captures my talk, she will do it. She will transfer to others. So being a gynecologist, I won't be available to everyone. But if I talk only for 1 minute, the talk is solid, then they will capture and they will transfer it.
Absolutely.
So one school or one village or one place, we cannot say they will do it, yeah, for one time. We have to continue our awareness going on and on, yeah. And that our Dr. Saba and all are there. We are also there. But school ma, अब उसलाई उसमा हाम्रो अङ्ग्रेजीमा भन्नुभयो नेपालीमा स्कुलमा त्यो मास्टरहरूको व्यवहार छैन खुवा गरेर फ्याँक्छ सिँ गरेर फ्याँक गरेर फ्याँक्छ वाट डु यु टिच देम वाट डु यु टिच देम के चाहिँ सिकाउने हाइजिन कहाँ सिकाउने डाक्टर साहब तर पानी छ स्कुलमा देयर इज वाटर नो वाटर डाक्टर साहब नो वाटर इन द स्कुल आई हेभ बिन मैले इट इज सो नियर काभ्रे है काभ्रे इज सो नियर The children were late to school because they had to go and fill up the water and come. So I had a big tank. Usko chakka jasto. What is it?
Tire.
That I got it from Japan. So during the earthquake, and then I gave that to that school. Okay. Now children are having water, and they come to school in time. त्यस्तो एउटा सानो सानो कुरा गर्नुपर्छ कि डाक्टर हाइजिनै छैन टिचरहरूलाई नै पढाउँदा मान्छेकै छेउमा बसेर खान्छ But Mota, I'm very strict about discipline.
Yeah.
Very strict about discipline. You come to Mighty Nepal, children will teach you discipline.
It's so good. And since you said that now people have water in their schools, washroom.
Yeah,
I'll give you an example of
That's
India. 76% of girls drop out of education as soon as they turn towards puberty
Exactly.
because they
Me
don't
too.
have washroom and a clean running water. So they just run
5
out.
minutes. Wrap up. 5 minutes. So that's where we stand, right? Jay, is there anything you want to go ahead and
I
address
think
to us then?
awareness is the most important, I know, because मेरै साथीहरुसँग पहिला मैले menstrual cup start गर्दाखेरि they would be like, तर you know, the younger girls who think tampon use गर्ने virginity lose हुन्छ अथवा you know cups use गर्ने you might get loose down there and stuff like that, you know. अहिले पनि त्यो त अलिकति माथिल्लो कुरा भयो, अझै बेसिकमा त कति इन्फर्मेसन दिनु बाँकी नै छ, हैन. So I would also personally be very happy to collaborate if you have any ideas, because we work with the FMNW, हाम्रो former Miss Nepalको पनि एउटा club, so we do a lot of work around periods and also with our foundation work. यदि त्यस्तो अब अनुराधा दिजुको कुरा सुन्दाखेरि त झन् जोस आउँदो रहेछ कि टन्टमा यस्तो मान्छे चाहिने रहेछ, अहिले गर्नु पर्यो म त ओहो अहिले गएर काम गर्न थालिहाल्नु क्या जस्तो भइरहेछ. So I'm happy to do that also, but most importantly information नै हो.
Education, yes.
Education.
Vyasa, anything specific that you want to share with everybody all across Nepal and around the world?
No, I think Nepal has welcomed us with open arms. I think there are a lot can be done. Rightly said, from the rural area, from the government, from people in this room. If we can talk about periods on top of our voice, and if a man can talk about it, because we want more and more inclusivity, because unless and until we talk about it, nothing will change. So I think both India and Nepal in the same condition. So yeah, I wish that we see 100% penetration of menstrual hygiene product in Nepal.
And I'm glad that PCF made this possible. And from our organization, Vyasa Media Network, in the coming, starting from right now, otherwise I'm ready
No
to
coming
get it
days.
from Ma'am right
Right
here.
now.
So from right now, we'll talk about it for as long as we can, and we'll broadcast it, produce it, and broadcast this conversation forever. Another Ma'am, I would love it if you would sum up this conversation, and not just for us, but for everybody all around the world as well. How can we make this world a better place?
We, all four of us, spoke for the well-being of girl-child, and then we spoke about awareness. We spoke about how to make them, not very friendly with when they have menstruation, to be very friendly with the products which Be Safe is going to launch or start in Nepal. So I think you are saying the minister should also hear, and Dr. Sahib is here, and she is from Porokwar hospital, the only women's hospital in Nepal, the only.
Yes.
So they they work very hard, and we are very proud of them also. And hopefully all of us, four of us, have to commit. Yeah, and Nani also said, I feel like doing it just now. So everybody, all of us should have, not only four of us, you should also have the spirit that I will talk about it every now and then.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have your radio, then you say in between, make a small jingle and say this, do this, do this. So that is what we've come up with.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We will plan something. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Wow.
you.
This show is brought to you by Vyasa Media Network.